Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm sure a lot of you have been facing very similar challenges of buying some of the latest and greatest tech that's out there, especially given the fact that the holiday season is just around the corner. There's actually an article on the purchase of the PS5 and how there's a lot of bots out there that are actually buying these things up and then reselling them for crazy prices on eBay. And that's left a lot of sad people out there who are looking for ways to get access or get their hands on something like this for the holidays. So I've got a potential solution for you. Now there's a lot of websites out there like Walmart.com and Walmart.ca that have actually gone ahead and put in bot detection so that you can no longer buy the PS5 using a bot. But I'm actually building a different bot. Now, one of the things that angered a lot of people was the fact that when these PS5s went on sale, they were bought like within seconds. The entire inventory was bought up within seconds, whereas people who logged in didn't even have a chance to actually go through the actual transaction, whether you on EB Games, whether you're on Walmart, or whether you're on Best Buy. It didn't matter. It was just so quickly done. And Walmart's made a really good change in the sense that they've gone ahead and added a CAPTCHA, so you can't just go and use a bot. It actually has bot detection now. But there are other retailers that haven't done that. Best Buy is one of them that still lets you go ahead and use a bot. Now, I've gone ahead and built this utility that will do all the searching for you. So if you like these kind of videos and you like these kind of utilities, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button because it helps the channel. Now, this is not one of those bots that's going to go ahead and buy the inventory out. This is a bot that's going to help you find the inventory. And so what this basically does is it'll go ahead on different websites like Best Buy, EB Games, Target, and Newegg. It'll use a proxy to go ahead and go into what we'll call headless mode and use incognito mode as well to go and determine whether or not there's inventory at these locations. And that's all it does. If there is inventory, it's going to send you a push notification to something called Pushover. Now for Pushover, you're going to need a client ID and an API token, which I'll show you how to do. So you would just log into your Pushover and then go and get all your credentials and fill this part of the code right here with your client ID and your API token. Now obviously I'm going to go ahead and change these because I don't want to expose these. So I'm going to change these out. You won't be able to use these anyways. But regardless, that's how you would set this up. And once you have that integration, it's just a matter of going in here and using it in your actual code to send the message whenever something is in stock. So very, very straightforward. I'll leave a link to Pushover in the description down below. Once you've downloaded Pushover and you've got this set up, all you're going to do is go ahead and put the link to the actual PS5 unit or whatever you're looking to buy. It doesn't have to be PlayStation 5. It could be you're looking for a pot or a pan or something that's out of stock. Anything that's out of stock. You just put the URL here so that you can search for it and hopefully you'll get notified of when it comes in stock and you'll be able to buy it for the holidays for whomever you need to buy it for. So let me demo how this works. I'm going to go ahead and run this, and what it's going to do is it's probably going to give me an error because I haven't run the Tor proxy. So this is running on the actual Tor proxy itself. I don't know if I have the Tor proxy enabled or not. Let me check. So I don't have the Tor proxy enabled, so I'm going to stop this. What that does is that instead of exposing your actual IP, it's going to use a Tor IP. So I'm going ahead and authenticating the Tor proxy here. So it says that it's done. And now I can go ahead and run this. And it's going to take a little bit of time. Because I'm running this in headless, this actually isn't going to open up a browser. It's doing all the work in the background. And the reason why I did that is so that I can run this off of a Linux machine if I wanted to, execute it anytime I want. I've set the refresh rate so that it actually goes on these websites and checks the status of whether these are in stock or not every hour. You can change that, but what I will caution you against is doing it too frequently. One, you can get banned. Even if you use an IP, your IP is going to get banned. But two, you don't want to overload these servers either because it doesn't help anybody. So every hour it's going to go on these websites and it's going to determine whether or not something is in stock or not. Now I know for a fact that all of these PS5s are out of stock at all of these stores, and these are the URLs to them. And so the way the script runs, it's going to go ahead and tell me the current time that I ran it, and then it's going to tell me whether or not it's in stock or not, and you'll see. And every single website itself has its own logic because of the way the website is actually set up. Alright, so before I get into the logic, there's a few things we need to cover. First and foremost, this is meant to be for educational purposes only. I'm not commercializing this in any way, nor do I endorse that you do that. The second thing is, always respect the terms and conditions on these websites. So while I've built this utility, it's really more to show you the different ways that you can actually go ahead and scrape information like this, but also use something like this responsibly. You wouldn't go to a website multiple times a day, unless you're somebody who just sits in front of your computer and refreshes all day. You generally wouldn't be going to a website every 30 seconds. So try to mimic your actual behavior, and that is maybe going a couple of times a day and trying to get information off of this. So be responsible for when you use this. And again, also, this is meant for educational purposes only. So for example, if I go to Best Buy, you'll see the button actually exists, but it's grayed out. So there's a specific logic to go ahead and search for that. And all I'm searching for is whether this button is disabled or not, as per the code. And once it tells me whether or not it's enabled or it's disabled, I can get the stock. The other way that some of these websites work is if you go to something like EB Games, for example. The way this website works is it doesn't actually have something that tells you whether it's enabled or not. It just, all it's doing is reading the description here. So if it says out of stock, it's treating that as out of stock. Otherwise, it's going to say add to cart. And that's just the way the logic was a lot easier to work here. And when you go to something like Target's website, all I'm searching for on the bottom is whether this item is available for shipping or not. So that's the way Target is set up. It's not looking for whether or not it's available in that store. That logic can be added, but this is just more for demonstration purposes anyways. But if it's shippable or not, it's going to show up here, and that's the way the logic is actually treated on Target's website. And finally, if I went to Newegg's website, it's going to show out of stock, and that's the way that logic is set up. It's either going to show out of stock or not, in which case it's going to be in stock. A lot of times people ask me to say, why can't I use this for multiple websites? Well, as I've demonstrated to you, every website has its own logic, and this logic changes. As websites evolve, they change their logic, they use more advanced technology, and sometimes this becomes a lot harder to do. But so far, so good. So what the script does is it'll go through the runtime and it'll tell you whether or not something is in stock or not. Now, if I do come across a scenario where something is in stock, it's actually going to go ahead and send me a push notification to Pushover, which I'm going to demonstrate in a very quick second. It's going to send me the link, so I can actually just hit the link right off of my push notification and go to my path to purchase. So let's go ahead and run something that I know for a fact is in stock at Target, and that's these remote controls. So let's go ahead and do something like this. Now it is going to take a second because it's going to first sift through Best Buy and it's going to sift through EB Games and then eventually here, but let's go ahead and to make sure that this is in fact in stock. And what you'll see is that it actually says ship it. So you'll see that this item is actually available. So we're going to go ahead and rerun this script, and I'm going to show you how this works on Pushover. And as you can see, I just got the Pushover notification. I would open it up, and it takes me to Target, and it shows that it's in stock. I can hit ship it and now do my path to purchase. So again, this isn't one of those bots that's going to go ahead and buy up all the inventory. This is meant to help people find the inventory, because you may forget throughout the day. You know, we're all busy. We may forget to check the website every now and then. And if this is something that's checking for you in the background and it sends you a notification, all it's going to do is help. So whether you're looking for that PS5 or that Xbox, or if you're looking for something for your kids or something for your parents, this is a great way to do it. I'm going to leave this entire code on GitHub for you. I'm going to put the instructions on how to use it, on how to set up Pushover as well. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if it is, please consider liking and subscribing. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.